All right, guys, first big nerd news story of the week. A seismic shift. Probably the biggest news to come in the comic book industry in years. DC Comics has officially cut ties with Diamond Distributors. That is insane.
That is absolutely insane.
If you're a fan of comic books, if you are a local comic book shop owner, this is insane. It's hitherto the fake moon landing. It's that big. It's massive, massive news, guys. So DC Comics, like I said, cut ties with Diamond Distributors. The announcement was made this week via an email to retailers sent Friday morning from DC. They said, with the company telling customers that all orders from DC products will be fulfilled by these two mystery companies. Lunar Distribution and UCS Comic Book Distributors. Who are they? You've never heard of them? I don't blame you. We're going to break down exactly who those people are, these weird mystery shell companies, in just a second. So that's where they're going to be getting the periodical releases. So your weekly comic books are going to come from Lunar and UCS, and the Penguin Random House is where DC is going to be selling their graphic novels.
Stephen King's publisher.
Is it really Stephen King's publisher?
Uh-huh.
I had no idea. That's amazing.
I know, right?
That's very interesting. A nice little wrinkle and ripple in the story there,
right?
Shauna. So they're handling all the collected volumes and stuff, and then the weekly stuff's going to come from Lunar and UCS. More on them in just a second. So this all happened in a statement from DC. Basically what DC said, they said after 25 years, 25 years, that's insane. DC and Diamond Comics distributors are ending their long-standing relationship. Moving forward, comic book retailers can obtain their DC books from, like I said before, Penguin Random House, or their books and periodicals, their weekly stuff you can get from Lunar and UCS comic book distributors. DC continues to be committed to providing the direct market with the best in-class service and the fans with the world's greatest comic books. That's debatable. World's best comic books? Yeah, okay, whatever. Go ahead and hate us in the comment section right now. So what is this? This all follows Diamond's decision. Obviously, the COVID-19, when that pandemic hit, Diamond Distributors, they ceased all
distribution
during the, I think it was like mid-March.
Yeah.
Diamond ceased all distribution
out
of comic
of the blue.
books. Out of the blue. Pissed a lot of people off. Clearly pissed DC off.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, without a doubt. They were citing cash flow problems. I mean, I completely get why Diamond had to shut down.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of businesses did.
What pissed people off was kind of the way they handled it.
Yeah.
They sort of, there was no warning. They just said, hey, local comic shops, I know you're trying to stay afloat, but we can't get you any books. Get it? I completely get it.
Yeah. But even more so, the publishers didn't even know. Like, Marvel and DC were blindsided by this announcement. They had no idea. So they've got warehouses full of books ready to ship and nobody to ship them.
Well, as soon as this was announced, DC, they announced like publicly their plans to find alternate distribution companies for a limited amount of time.
Sure.
Basically, what happened? Okay, I'm gonna read this for you. It said during the pandemic, DC settled on two newly created companies. We'll get into those two newly created companies in a second. Lunar Distribution, like I said before, UCS Comic Book Distributors to handle periodical distribution while Diamond was closed. Completely understandable. They did say, though, all parties involved, including DC and Diamond, they publicly stated that DC would continue to release products through Diamond when they resumed distribution in late May. Well, that, I guess, was bullshit.
Dun, dun, dun.
They said we'd go to these other companies for now, but we will become, they said publicly, we will go back to Diamond once this all blows over. Well, that is not the case.
They lied.
At all.
They lied to Diamond.
So who are these mystery companies? I don't want to call them shell companies.
Right.
If you try to Google, like, who is Lunar and who is UCS, you're gonna hit a bit of a wall.
Really?
They're new companies. They're kind of, I want to say they're made up companies.
Right.
So, but through some very clever sleuthing and detective work by the good folks over at Newsarama, it was revealed that UCS is actually Midtown Comics.
What? Like downtown New York, Midtown Comics?
Midtown Comics. We've been there. It's an awesome shop. UCS is a new company that's actually Midtown Comics. Now, Midtown Comics has a long history of mail order comic books. Like, if you want comic books by mail, good chance you're already buying it from Midtown Comics. So nothing crazy there, but the fact they're not calling it Midtown Comics, they're calling it UCS.
I wonder what UCS stands for.
I had it written down somewhere, but I forgot it. And Lunar. Who is Lunar? Well, Lunar, through even way deeper dive by the people at Newsarama, they found out it is a company out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, called Discount Comic Book service. So DCBS is Lunar.
Okay.
Lunar is DCBS.
Interesting.
So these two companies are basically handling all the distribution for all DC Comics.
So being new companies, neither has the experience of distribution. Except for Midtown. I know they do, like you said, they do online sales, but that's not nearly anything equivalent to distribution.
That's kind of the fear, I think, with a lot of local comic book shops. It's like, can these people handle the massive volume of orders that they're about to be getting starting next Wednesday?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Diamond Comics, if you don't know who Diamond Comics is, you probably aren't watching this video if you don't, but I mean, they basically hold a virtual monopoly on the comic book distribution in North American market. Have been for 25 years. Diamond has been the they've monopolized the distribution. So it was only a matter of time, I think, before some other company stepped in and tried to kind of get a foothold in the comic book distribution game.
Totally.
Well, COVID-19, I mean, that gave you the massive foothold.
Yeah.
And this is bad news for Diamond.
I know.
It really is. I mean, if you think about it, Diamond, I mean, Jesus, they just lost the second largest publisher in North America. I mean, DC is responsible for 30% of the entire comic book market.
Yeah.
And so they just lost 30% of their business with DC. And I'm assuming this is just going to be the first domino to fall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if other people start following it. You know, if these Lunar and this other company is cheaper, easier to deal with. I mean, hopefully
Marvel
that's what DC's hoping for. Actually, I think Marvel is really happy. With this current. I mean, if you think about it, they got Diamond by the short and curlies right now.
That's a good point.
It's I wouldn't be surprised if they renegotiate. If Marvel renegotiates with Diamond and says, "Look, man, we're all you got, man."
Yeah, because a lot of the independent books like IDW and Dark Horse, they have their other distributors. They don't really use Diamond because they were still able to get some books to the stores during the coronavirus, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
This is insane. I mean,
Diamond, you are in trouble.
I mean, and I love Diamond. I mean, obviously, their previews world. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Diamond. Local comic book shops. I mean, they're used to working with Diamond. They just released their virtual pull list thing.
Yeah, that's
which
really
is
cool.
really, really dope. So this is crazy. This is massive. Like I said before off camera. I mean, this is akin to Trolls 2 getting released the rivalry between Universal and the movie theater industry. It's the same rivalry now between Diamond and DC.
Oh my goodness.
And the comic. It's huge. It's massive, guys. So I'm sure you guys have some comments and your own thoughts in the comment section. Please leave them. Let us know what you thought about Diamond beforehand. Does this change anything? What do you think about DC? What do you think this means for the future of Detective Comics? Please let us know in the comment section, guys. Very excited to hear all you guys sound off and let us know what you think. I think it was inevitable. Yeah. It was only a matter of time.
Totally.
So next huge bit of nerd news that dropped this week, guys. This comes directly from Mainframe Comic-Con.
Woohoo!
Ash vs. Evil Dead. In an interview with Perry Nemiroff at Mainframe Comic-Con. Huge shout out to Perry, by the way.
Absolutely. She is amazing and did a bang-up job.
She absolutely crushed it. She's sat down with two of the stars from Ash vs. Evil Dead, Ray Santiago and Dana De Lorenzo. There is a link to that.